Well, it's that time of the year again, as we're less than a week away till Thanksgiving. And I guess to celebrate this, why not I bring in content that I really not did in 3 years? The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, as we're very close to his 90th annual parade, which, dang, we're almost at 100. So to finally conclude a series that needs to be finished after I kind of let it on a hiatus, my Macy's Parade Balloon series. But before we could talk about new episodes with character balloons, I kind of want to remake an old episode that I made 3 years ago, which I ended up going with the famous crazy woodpecker, Woody Woodpecker, as he was a giant balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Woody Woodpecker made his parade debut in 1982 with Walter Lens Productions as his sponsor. For his design is a pretty generic design of him jumping for joy and laughter. However, there's a goof that Macy's made when they were painting this balloon. They paint his feet orange instead of his actual color feet being yellow. And to note, he's one of the widest balloons in the parade's history, with approximately 45 feet. However, on his parade debut, it did not go well. Just 3 blocks after he started the parade, his head was deflated by a tree branch, so the handlers had to lower him down to the ground so he can make it through. Luckily, it worked, and Woody managed to make it through the entire parade route. On the parade broadcast on NBC, when Woody made it to Herald Square, Brian Gumbel, who was the host of that year, had a very special guest in the commentating booth, being young Ricky Stroden, who got to talk about the famous woodpecker.
The little man on the prairie, big man on the prairie now, I should say, in the little house on the prairie, marching along with him, Macy Mouse, Honey Bear, and the fifth soldier looking their best too. I've been joined here. Sarah Purcell gave up her seat moments ago, and joining me in here now. Can we get a shot in here? Dick Schneider is young Ricky Schroeder. Did you have fun in the parade today?
Oh, yeah, I loved it. I had a great time.
You had a good time, huh?
My feet and my fingers are numb, but the rest was great.
Well, wonderful. Why don't you sit here with me now for a while and we can enjoy the parade, okay?
No, Mr. Gilbert, this year, Woody Woodpecker is Olive the only new balloon in the parade.
Well, and you know...
Another balloon may not be able to laugh. We have a new one called Woody Woodpecker. And I think if he could laugh, everyone would know what he's saying.
Well, you know...
He's furnished by Walter Lance Productions. Wow, it's really something to look at him this close. They're so much bigger than you imagine. You know? Like, look at him.
What am I supposed to say? Who was it that said you never play a scene with a little kid, huh?
And a dog.
And a dog, right? Who said that?
I don't know. Was it Jackie Cooper?
It could have been. You never can tell. You're doing it so well. Why don't you go ahead and do the band?
Woody will make his second appearance in 1983 with Walter Lantz, his creator, and his wife, Grace Lantz, the voice actor for Woody, were in a car in front of Woody. This year was also noticeable as during the NBC telecast, they will have a sound clip of Woody Woodpecker's famous laugh, which will be used for the rest of his parade appearance going forward.
The rain continues to come down here in New York City, but it's also failing to dampen the spirits of many of the assembled who've gathered along the parade route to watch, right? This is young Bradley Gumbel, in case you didn't know. Anyhow, when you talk about laughter, here are two people riding down Broadway who are masters of the subject. They are Walter and Gracie Lance. He created the world's most mischievous bird, Woody Woodpecker. She provided the voice and that unforgettable laugh. And following Walter and Gracie is, of course, their wonderful creation, Woody Woodpecker, having perhaps almost as good a time as they are. Hello, Walter. This is only the second year in the parade for Woody, but he's already proving to be one of the favorites among the many wonderful balloon characters that have become famous here on Thanksgiving morning. Woody, as Sarah told you a little bit earlier, 75 feet long. He's got a wingspan 45 feet, furnished, of course, by Walter Lance Productions. Coming in behind Woody, riding in on the Rocking Lobster is John Bauman. Now, some of you may not know him by that name, but you do, I'm sure, recognize.
Next up is 1984 with a bent arm.
Complete with one of the world's more famous laughs, Woody Woodpecker has made his way down to Herald Square. Has the distinction of being the widest balloon in the parade at 45 feet wide. By way of Walter Lance Productions. If you've never met Walter and Gracie Lance, you are missing something. Walter does the drawing. Gracie provides the laugh.
In 1985, Woody Woodpecker was in the parade to celebrate his 45th anniversary. However, this parade was not easy going for Woody, as one of his hands were deflated as well as his both feet were also deflated. However, this was the first year where a host of the parade would try to do an impression of his famous laugh, which in this year, it was Pat Sajak.
Here's a fellow who took that advice and became a superstar. And of course, we're talking about Woody Woodpecker. And here he is brought to life as a magnificent balloon. What a great sight he is. Furnished by Walter Lance Productions, Woody has been bringing his special brand of laughter and fun to the world ever since 1941. I can't do that. Also, for those of you who keep track of these sorts of things, Woody is listed as the widest balloon in the parade and the least popular with trees, by the way. Of course, for all the rest of us, Woody continues as one of the most popular cartoon characters. That's a big woodpecker.
Just ahead, the world's famous Radio City Music Hall Rockettes and the arrival of the North Pole's most important citizen, Santa Claus.
In 1986, oh boy. First off, his sponsor was changed from Walter Lance Productions to Universal Studios. Second off, this ended up being a really windy Thanksgiving, and a lot of the balloons had trouble. Woody ended up being one of them, and he got probably the worst out of all the balloons that year, where his head and his body almost came apart due to those high winds. But surprisingly, he somehow managed to make it through, which I cannot say for Betty Boop. Oh, and also, once again, like the last year, his feet were also deflated.
Well, as everyone knows, stars in the field of entertainment can sometimes be very demanding, except for parade show hosts who are all charming and lovable. Many of them want a fancy introduction when they make their first entrance, maybe a blast of trumpets or thunderous applause. But for this ever-popular fellow, laughter is all he needs, and what a trademark it's been for him. Buffalo and Phyllis Dillon come back again. Anyway, no, it's Woody Woodpecker, and he's one balloon you'll never see crying, even on the rainiest day, and luckily we do not have one of those. This morning, he's been furnished by Universal City Studios, and he's here to prove that even though his birthday goes back to 1941, he's feeling just as spry and full of fun as ever.
After a crazy close call he had the previous year, Woody got to stand up tall in 1987 without no incidents.
Hey, Garbage Patch Gang, that's dynamite. That's fabulous acting. Here is a favorite, Woody Woodpecker. Some of us older kids, and you know who you are, you grew up with this cartoon character. He got the first laugh on us. This is going to make you feel old. 47 years ago. Happy birthday to Easy. We'll get you. Oh, hold it. Knock it off. This guy is a laugh a minute. Anyhow, Universal City Studios furnish him to us, and all the younger kids can grow up with him and know him and love him like we all did. Would you knock it off? Woody. Somebody get that bird. Woody is 75 feet tall. He's got his own flock of 40 balloon handlers dressed in Woody look-alike costume to keep him in line. Get out of here. What time is it? It's Howdy Doody time, and he and his partners, Buffalo Bob and Flip. Woody, will you get that bird out of here?
There is really nothing to note about for Woody in 1988, but there is one thing I do want to mention. This was the first year when Woody Woodpecker was senior balloon of the parade that year. For those who don't know what a senior balloon is, well, the hosts of the parade will usually comment on the oldest balloon of the parade being referred to as senior balloon, which means that that's the oldest balloon to be in the parade that year. And Woody will get to hold that title for the entirety of his appearance going forward, except for three, be 1990, 1991, and 1993, with the former being Kermit the Frog, 1991 with Lions the Lionhearted, and the latter with Smokey the Bear, which they all came back for those specific parades, and they will be named Senior Balloon.
62 years of love and affection right here at the Macy's Day Parade. We're back in business. Woody Woodpecker, about my age, guy who always has the last laugh, is back for his 7th flight down Broadway. Was that you? You're fantastic ventriloquist. That's marvelous. Look at her. Furnished by Universal Studios of Hollywood, the senior balloon of Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade has feathers creamed and is all set as he goes down Broadway. This famous cartoon character is not one to throw his weight around, at least not while he's Woody Woodpecker here with his handlers. They have a real grip on this fella. I mean a real strong grip on him. A big bird. Sandy, stop that. You multifaceted thing, you. Hey, go get him, Woody. Woody likes the folks. There he goes.
This is one of the reasons why I wanted to remake this episode in the first place. Because my stupid ass skipped over 1989 because I don't freaking know. But 3 years later, finally showing you 1989. Nothing really special happened besides a snow that caught on Woody's eye.
And from the legends of American folklore to one of the favorites of kids everywhere. I can't do it as well as you, Willard, but it's Woody Woodpecker. He's been in this parade longer than any other balloon you'll see today. This is his 8th flight down Broadway.
He's looking for Alf.
Yeah, well, Alf, you were there.
Was that Alf or Woody?
I think it was Woody.
I think it was Alf imitating Woody.
This is a rare bird. Believe it or not, this guy stands 75 feet tall. That arm span is 45 feet. Makes him look like he's going to lead one of those bands that's coming down Broadway here. He's furnished by Universal and has a platoon of escorts to make sure he flies right.
A lot of birds in this parade. A lot of birds.
Look at the escorts. I don't know if we've got a shot of it or not, but they're all little Woody Woodpeckers. And they're working hard.
Que pasa? Que pasa?
Oh, look at
I may get to touch
Woody's
Woody.
foot's going to come right here. Almost.
I usually have my foot in my mouth, but I've never had Woody's foot in my
Woody's foot in
mouth.
your mouth.
Hey, the best. The best. All volunteers, and remember, these are the folks that put this show together. This is 99% volunteer, this whole parade.
Yeah. terrific. Oh, look, there's Paddington Bear.
Woody will laugh his way into the 90s, starting in 1990 to celebrate his 50th anniversary.
Down Broadway celebrating his 50th birthday is Woody Woodpecker.
Getting ready.
Furnished by Universal Studios in Hollywood and Florida. A favorite with everybody, especially the kids. He's been in this parade since 1982, and usually you can hear him coming from miles away.
I think I hear him now. Stereo mouth.
That's
Love
good,
that bird.
I think you got a second career if things at TV ever slow down for you.
I think that's a good thing, don't you, Dick?
I don't think you're in any danger at all.
I'm not?
No, not a bit. And the folks behind Woody Woodpecker are in no danger either. From
Woody would continue for the next 3 years, in 1991, 1992, and 1993. With the latter year, his hand was deflated and had to be lowered to the ground like in 1982 and 83.
Let's hear it.
You want to hear me do it?
Sure.
Here goes. Ready? Watch this.
There goes my career.
That's Dick Snyder in the truck. I think he needs help. Love that bird, and so do a lot of other people. Hey, quite a ventriloquist. Hey, Woody is furnished by Universal Studios of Hollywood and Hollywood, Florida, of course, taking his 9th flight down Broadway today. You know, Katie, these giant balloons are made in several different sections. So if Woody were to spring a leak in one section, his beak or his whatever, that doesn't matter because there's enough hot air all over to take him upward. Only kidding. The helium would keep him up. Don't you worry about a thing. His beak will not be worse than his bite. That's a little Ben Franklin said. Look up. Oh, isn't that good? Hey! Get him up there, Woody, baby! Those Macy's handlers never let us down. Look at him turn the corner. That's, you know, the only problem there was he could never stop or pass by Macy's without wanting to stop and go in and shop because he knows he gets the best buys in town. He wants to go in and do his Christmas shop.
Woody's looking pretty laid back.
Anything could happen on this bus.
I do the first. Right.
Okay, Willard.
I love it. There he is. Walter Lance's special guy. That's so silly. Gets me every time. You got it. You ready for it?
All right, go ahead. Do your imitation, Willard.
There go the ratings. We thought we were hot. Love that bird, furnished by Universal Studios of Hollywood and Florida. And you know Woody Woodpecker's back for his 10th flight down Broadway today. Woody's a big favorite with the kids, and all the giant balloons, Macy's Balloon Cruise puts them together in separately sealed sections. But don't you worry, if Woody hits a tree or a building while he's coming down the parade route, he can still fly. What a fabulous bird.
Beauty and the Beast invite you to the castle, and Goofy premieres as a giant balloon when we come back live on NBC.
And Willard, now there's a fine feathered favorite, Mr. Woody Woodpecker himself. Looks like a little slow going for the Woodman. With arms measuring 45 feet, Woody could use a few extra hands himself. And there they are, 35 robust handlers. And speaking of Woody wannabes, Willard, you're on. Woody's sounding a little sick this morning, Willard.
It's cold, man. My vocal cords are froze up. There's an echo
Now
in
that's
this
the
joint.
ticket.
That's the ticket. Wasn't bad, was it, for no rehearsal?
No, it wasn't bad at all. We're starting to warm up here a little bit, aren't we?
Big Daddy will keep you warm. I'm telling you, I'm the Paul Prudhomme
Well,
announcer.
Thanks, honey. What's the temperature today, you think, about?
Let's see, I can check. 38 degrees. The wind is out of the northeast at 15. I'm the slightest idea. Where's Al Roker now that we need him?
Willard, we really should hand it to all those balloon handlers. They're doing a terrific job, and this is no easy task. They're specially trained to handle these giant balloons, which are all 5 or 6.
3 events happened for Woody Woodpecker in 1994. The first one being his creator Walter Lantz passed away at the age of 94 from heart failure on March 22, 1994. The second event was the Woody balloon appeared in the sitcom Seinfeld in the episode The Mom and the Pop Store, which showed his 1992 appearance. And although it was good to see Woody on the show, it did not end well for him. You know what? I'll just show the clip.
You popped Woody Woodpecker! Hey, who invited you anyway? You're a troublemaker.
And the final event, which was the parade itself, Woody had a bit of a delay. He was supposed to be behind the American movie classic float. However, the high winds that year caused Woody to be on the ground, so Woody took a break from the parade. Luckily, he got to stand up and be right behind the Dunkin' Donuts float.
We're still in business.
And you know what? Our favorite balloon is coming up.
Walter Lantz, one of my idols of all time, and he's sent his friend over today.
That's right. You know, this is Woody's 13th parade appearance, Willard. He's a Walter Lantz creation, as you said. He's sponsored by Universal City Studios, and he's 75 feet tall by 45 feet wide. And Willard, a parade wouldn't be complete without your Woody the Woodpecker.
I love you, Liz.
Woody the Woodpecker in impersonation. Go ahead, Willard.
And all of the handlers are dressed like, and so we have a gaggle or a pride of woodpeckers, I guess.
I think a gaggle is right.
I saw
the pride of lions.
I saw Liz Torres. I couldn't resist. I had to give her a hug. Excuse me.
I know you weren't paying attention. You were too busy flirting with Liz.
He's such a legend, you know. And we had the Lances here about 4 or 5 years ago in the crowd. Remember, they used to always come and visit and see the parade. And
he's making that dangerous turn right beside us, Willard.
Yeah, he's right. He's right here.
We got 2 more to go, and we're into 1995 when he celebrated his 55th anniversary.
Here he is, the biggest and the oldest, Woody Woodpecker. And he's back, get this, for his 13th year in this parade, and he is still going. Furnished by Universal Studios, Woody also is having the biggest laugh. He's the largest balloon in the parade. Hey, what? Is that Al Roker or is that Woody?
I think that's the Woodman.
He's twice the height of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, and he'd love to have a nest in that tree, by the way.
I'm sure he would, Willard.
Give us one more, Woody. I want to hear that famous sign-off that we hear on NBC News every night. That's Tom Brokaw. I'd recognize Tom anyway.
Willard, this next balloon comes from 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Woody will make his final appearance in 1996. However, he will not go out without an accident, which unexpected winds pushed Woody's hand into a tree fence, causing it to rip.
Oh, what a beautiful night. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling.
Talk about your classics, Willard. He's back. Walter Lantz created him, and today Universal Studios Consumer Products Group provides him. That lucky bird is making his 13th flight down Broadway. Yes, indeed, it's Woody Woodpecker, the Woodman.
He is my idol, too, Catherine. 35 balloon handlers mimic our 75-foot-tall bird in their Woody look-alike costumes. Woody has an arm span of 45 feet and just happens to be senior balloon of this year's parade. Been around longer than anyone.
Come on, Willard, you have to do it. It's tradition. Woody's impeccable laugh.
Are you ready for this?
Give it a try. You should have wormed your way out of it, Willard. Now let's hear it from the gang in the booth, shall we?
I thought mine sounded more authentic, if you know the truth.
There's always next year, Willard.
More Macy's Parade coming up right here on NBC.
Woody made a total of 15 appearances in the parade's history. And unfortunately, after the rules after 1997, this balloon will no longer be used in the parade. However, it was not the end for this balloon, as in 2001, Woody's head was shown at a Macy's Christmas event along with many other character balloons. As being a parade favorite from the early 80s to the late 90s, Woody definitely made a name for himself that Walter would have been proud of. As we finally conclude this remake, now let's get back on track with our next character, which has been 3 years in the making.